भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते
ओम नमो
वासुदेवाय।
भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्णा। टुडे वी कंटिन्यू श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो फर्स्ट चैप्टर 17, punishment and reward of Kali. Shloka number 19 and 20. Kechit vikalpa vasana
केचित् विकल्पवसना
pavasana ahu atmanam atmanah
आहु आत्मानम् आत्मनः
daivam anne apare karma
दैवम् अन्ये अपरे कर्म
swabhavam apare prabhum
स्वभावम् अपरे प्रभुम्
apratarkyat anirdeshat iti
अप्रतर्क्यात् अनिर्देशात् इति
keshu api nischayah
केषु अपि निश्चयः
atra anurupam rajarushe
अत्र अनुरूपं राजरूषे
विमृश स्वमनीषया
विमृश स्वमनीषया
केचित् विकल्पवसनाः
केचित् विकल्पवसनाः
आहु आत्मानम् आत्मनः
आहु आत्मानम् आत्मनः
दैवम् अन्ये अपरे कर्म
दैवम् अन्ये अपरे कर्म
स्वभावम् अपरे प्रभुम्
स्वभावम् अपरे प्रभुम्
अप्रतर्क्यात् अनिर्देशात् इति
अप्रतर्क्यात् अनिर्देशात् इति
केषु अपि निश्चयः
केषु अपि निश्चयः
अत्र अनुरूपम् राजरूषे
अत्र अनुरूपं राजरूषे
विमृश स्वमनीषया
विमृश स्वमनीषया
केचित् विकल्पवसनाः आहु आत्मानम् आत्मनः दैवम् अन्यपरे कर्म स्वभावम् अपरे प्रभुम् अप्रतर्क्यात् अनिर्देशात् इति केषु अपि निश्चयः अत्र अनुरूपम् राजऋषे विमृश स्वमनीषया। हरे कृष्ण।
केचित्
प्रणाम।
केचित् विकल्पवसनाः आहु आत्मानम् आत्मनः दैवम् अन्ये अपरे कर्म स्वभावम् अपरे प्रभुम् अप्रतर्क्यात् अनिर्देशात् इति केषु अपि निश्चयः अत्र अनुरूपं राजऋषे विमृश स्वमनीषया
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Some of the philosophers who deny all sorts of duality declare that one's own self is responsible for his personal happiness and distress. Others say that superhuman power are responsible, while yet others say that activities is responsible, and the gross materialistic maintains that nature is the ultimate cause. There are also some thinkers who believe that no one can ascertain the cause of distress by argumentation, nor know it by imagination, nor express it by words. So, sage among kings, judge for yourself by thinking over all this with your own intelligence. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As referred to above, philosophers like Jaimini and his followers established that fruitive activity is the root cause of all distress and happiness, and that even if there is a superior authority, some superhuman powerful god or gods, he and they are also under the influence of fruitive activity because they reward result according to one's action. They say that action is not independent because action is performed by some performer. Therefore, the performer himself is the cause of his own happiness or distress. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.5, also it is confirmed that by one's mind, freed from material affection, one can deliver himself from the sufferings of material pangs. So one should not entangle oneself in matter by the mind's material affections. Thus, one's own mind is one's friend or enemy in one's material happiness and distress. Atheistic, materialistic Sankhya's conclude that material nature is the cause of all causes. According to them, combinations of material elements are the causes of material happiness and distress, and disintegration of matter is the cause of freedom from all material pain. Gautam and Kanad find that atomic combination is the cause of everything, and impersonalists like Ashtavakra discover that the spiritual effulgence of Brahman is the cause of all causes. But in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Himself declares that He is the source of impersonal Brahman, and therefore He, the personality of Godhead, is the ultimate cause of all causes. It is also confirmed in the Brahma Samhita that Lord Krishna is the ultimate cause of all causes. The Vaishnavis, the devotees of the Lord, do believe, as above explained, that nothing can take place without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Director. For he confirms in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, he is the Supreme Director. For the confirms in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15 that he is as all pervading Paramatma stays in everyone's heart and keeps vigilance over all actions and witnesses all activities. The argument of the atheist that one cannot be punished for one's misdeeds unless proved before a qualified justice is refuted herein. For we accept the perpetual witness and constant companion of the living being. A living being may forget all that he might have done in his past or present life. But one must know that in the same tree of the material body, the individual soul and supreme soul, as Paramatma, are sitting like two birds. One of them, the living being, is enjoying the fruits of the tree, whereas the supreme being is there to witness the activities. Therefore, the Paramatma feature, the super soul, is actually the witness of all activities of the living being, and only by his direction can the living being remember or forget what he might have done in the past? He is therefore both the all pervading impersonal Brahman and the localized Paramatma in everyone's heart. He is the knower of all past, present, and future, and nothing can be concealed from him. The devotees know this truth, and therefore they discharge their duties sincerely without being overly anxious for rewards. Beside that, one cannot estimate the Lord's reactions either by speculation or by scholarship. Why does he put some into difficulty and not others? He is the supreme knower of the Vedic knowledge, and thus he is the factual Vedantist. At the same time, he is the compiler of the Vedanta. No one is independent of him, and everyone is engaged in his service in different ways. In the conditioned state, such services are rendered by the living being under force of the material nature, whereas in the liberated state, the living being is helped by the spiritual nature and the voluntary loving service of the Lord. There is no incongruity or inebriety in its action. All are on the path of absolute truth. Vishmadeva correctly estimated the inconceivable actions of the Lord. The conclusion is therefore that the suffering of the representative of religion and the representative of the earth as present before Maharaj Parikshit were planned to prove that Maharaj Parikshit was the ideal executive head because he knew well how to give protection to the cows, the earth, and the Brahmanas' religious principle, the two pillars of spiritual advancement. Everyone is under the full control of the Lord. He is quite correct in his action when he desires something to be done by someone, irrespective of the consideration of the particular case. Maharaj Parikshit was thus put to test for his greatness. Now let us see how he solved it by his sagacious mind. Om Agyana Timirandrasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान् च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swavediti Lavide Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वांछा कल्पतरुभ्ये च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण. Today we continuing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1 chapter 17 punishment and reward of Kali, shloka number 20 and 21. In shloka number 20, they describe about the devotees of the Lord, uh, and uh, above explained nothing can take place without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. Means here they describing about, sorry, 19 and 20, sorry. Uh, in 19 shloka they describe about the uh, some philosophers. Yes, na? They're describing about the some philosophers and their opinion. And in 20 number shloka, they describe about the everyone how they under in the full control of the Lord. And Maharaj Parikshit was put to test for his greatness, and he solved um, it by his sagacious mind. Prabhuji will tell in us in detail. Please.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare. So the bull, who is actually the religion personified, is responding to Parikshit Maharaj as to what is the cause of his troubles. But just like an ideal devotee would, he never pinpoints what is the cause of his trouble. Everyone knows that it is Kali who is troubling, and Parikshit Maharaj wanted this to be noted by them. But they rightly say that no, we don't know what is the actual cause. The reason being, a devotee always understands that whatever is falling to them is only under the approval of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even if they know who is the chief mischief maker, they'll never name him, rather accept that whatever happens for the best and happens as per the instructions of Supreme Personality of God. And not only that, to prove that this version is right, what Bull is saying is, see, we could have pinpointed someone, but then there are so many philosophies, we don't know what is the right one. And he keeps on narrating the chief of those philosophies. First amongst them is those who do not believe in the Dvaitvad, so they are the Advaitas. So they say that we are responsible for our own personal happiness and distress. Then the second philosophy is that there's a superhuman power which is responsible. A third philosophy says it is karma, activity, which is responsible. The materialist, the fourth persons, they consider that the nature, the prakriti is the ultimate cause. The fifth, we saw all this if you remember the sixth philosophies last week. The fifth one is who say that no one can ascertain the cause of distress by augmentation, or by imagination, or can explain what is there by words. So after giving all these different philosophical explanations, Dharmaraj, it's actually asking Parikshit Maharaj that you decide what is appropriate. And just look at the beautiful sentence he is using. Atra anurupam rajarishe vimbrasha swamanishaya. So atra, herein, anurupam, which of them is right? Rajarishe, so each among the kings. Vimbrasha, you judge yourself. And how? Swamanishaya. Swa means by your own, and Manishaya means power of intelligence. And that is where, after knowing those five philosophies, comes the important instruction which we take away today as a learning for us. That if we have the power of intelligence, we can decide which of them is right. So, power of intelligence is very, very important. And that can only come if you are not illusioned by the Maya. But this is exactly what is happening, which is reverse in Kali Yuga. And that is why you have so many problems which are there and which are going to keep on increasing. Prabhupada ji in the Tatparya, besides highlighting the philosophies, highlights how even Krishna, when he was making Arjuna understand and come to the ultimate Guhyatama knowledge, that that you should surrender fully. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharna. Before coming to that conclusion, Krishna explained all sorts of information. So in 6.5, Krishna says, Uddharet atmanam na atmanam avasadayet atma eva hi atmana badhu atma eva ripu atmana. So it means that one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Now this shloka becomes important to understand, because in today's shloka, what religion is telling Parikshit Maharaj is, with your mind, power of knowledge, with your power of knowledge, you decide amongst these what is appropriate. So for the power of knowledge, the mind is important. And here we know that the mind is a friend of the conditioned soul, but enemy as well. Because if you want to be delivered, this is with the help of mind. If you do not want to be degraded, again, this is with the help of the mind. So mind can be the best friend, but at the same time, it is enemy. So what is important is that mind has to be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the science. In material world, we are subjected to the influence of mind and senses. In fact, even the pure soul is entangled because the mind is involved with false ego. And what does it want? It wants to lord it over the material nature. Be the controller. Ishvara. So what is important is that the mind be trained so that it is not attracted by the glitter of the material nature. And in this way, the conditioned soul can be saved. And the best way to disentangle oneself is to always engage the mind in Krishna consciousness. And that is why it is important that we take to the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when Prabhupada ji is making us aware of all these aspects, he is also telling us to be aware of the other philosophies which are there to bewilder us and to prevent us from understanding what is the truth. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself declares that he is the source of everything. Even he is the source of the impersonal Brahman. And so he is the personality of Godhead, the ultimate cause of all causes. And we know that this is confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Sarva Karana Karanam Anadiradir Govindam Sarva Karana Karanam. So this is what is clearly mentioned. So the devotees, they always believe that nothing can take place without the sanction of the Lord. He is the supreme director. He is the all-pervading Paramatma. He stays in everyone's heart and keeps vigilance over all actions and witnesses, all the activities. Krishna confirms it in Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Sarvasya chaham buddhi sannivishta matta smriti dhanam apohanam cha vedeha cha sarvehe aham eva vedyo vedanta krut veda videva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So very clearly Krishna has said that he is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart. And it is from him that all activities are initiated. We, the living beings, we forget our past life. But then we have to act according to the directions of Supreme Lord, who is witness to all our work. And that is why we begin to work according to our past states. What is to be worked upon? That knowledge is applied to him by Krishna. So Krishna is not only pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. And it is he who gives us the different fruitive results. So this is an important aspect. We may forget anta pravishta shastra jananam. As soon as we enter any body, or as soon as we quit the present body, before we start working again in another body, we will forget. And though we forget, Krishna gives the intelligence to renew the work where we ended in the last life. So we have to be very, very careful. And that care has to start from the mind. Mind is a friend as well as an enemy. It is up to us to decide what it should be. So, the example which Prabhupada gives, you have been citing so many times of the two parrots on the tree. One is enjoying, the other is watching. So, Krishna is the witness of all activities, and only by his direction can anything happen. So, it is important that as devotees we know this truth, and so we discharge our duties sincerely without being overly anxious for results or even rewards. And that is what even Krishna has said, that you do your duty, do not think of the result. Ma karma phaleshu karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So we should not think of the results. We just have to do our duties as per the Chaturvarna system, and which comes as per our qualities, not as per our birth. So we cannot estimate the reactions of the Lord, whether we do it by speculation, by scholarship. We can never know why someone is put into difficulty, others are not put into difficulty. This is all what Krishna has decided. So we simply have to accept it. Because he has also said in that same shloka that he is the supreme knower of the Vedic knowledge. He is the actual Vedantist. He is the actual compiler of the Vedanta. No one is independent of Krishna. Everyone is engaged in his service, some way or the other. If you are Baddha, we are serving by force of material nature. And if you are Mukta Jeev, then we are held by the spiritual nature, and voluntarily loving service to the Lord is extended by us. So, whatever Krishna does, it's always factual, it's always perfect. There are no second questions about it. There is no incongruity, no inebriety. Everything is on the path of absolute truth. So, what religion and Mother Earth they are doing and telling about their sufferings at present before Parikshit Maharaj is actually a plan to prove that Maharaj Parikshit is the ideal executive head, because he knew quite well how to protect the cows and the Brahmanas, the two pillars of spiritual advancement, both of whom are very dear to Krishna. And that is why we use this offer mantra every day. Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. So everyone is under the full control of Lord. So whatever he wants, he can be done. And Maharaj Parikshit is being given all this information, and his test is now actually being done of how great he is, how he can understand all these aspects and help relieve the difficulties. So we have to understand these things. So what we are learning from the shloka today is there are different philosophies. We don't have to be bewildered by them, because we know the ultimate truth which Krishna has says, which is Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. If we have to understand it, it is important that we have to test it with our intelligence, and for that intelligence, the mind has to be in control, and for the mind to be in control, we have to do everything for Krishna. You have to keep the mind engaged in Krishna, and then everything and everything is possible on the way of going back home, back to Godhead. Thank you.